Hello everyone, my name is Yunus Haruna, a student of Behang University in the field of pattern recognition and intelligent systems. So this tutorial is going to be on how to guide you on applying through the Chinese government scholarship. So the Chinese government scholarship is a scholarship which is being offered by the Chinese government council for students, for prospective postgraduate students, just for masters and for PhD programs. So the tutorial is just going to guide you precisely on the steps, and it's going to give you tips on how to successfully apply for the government scholarship. So let's get it started. So the scholarship description and benefits are what I've listed below here. So the Chinese government scholarship is a full-time scholarship program funded by the Chinese government. The scholarships include tuition, accommodation, and living expenses, which is the stipend. So the stipend, it's for PhD, it's $500 US, and for masters, I think it's 410 or 20 US. So, and it also covers medical expenses and other medical insurances, but it doesn't cover your travel expenses. So the next phase is an applicant qualification and application profession. So the applicant for the program is for applicants for only masters and PhD students. So for the master student, the person is supposed to be under the age of 35, and for a PhD applicant is supposed to be someone within 40 years of age. So if you say you don't old, just forget them. So the information gathering is the first step you're supposed to carry out if you want to apply for the scholarship. And we all live in a digital age, which you can easily get information right on your fingertips. So the first recommendation I'm going to tell students vying for a scholarship in China is try to gather a lot of information about the school you want to apply for. So you have to go to Google and search for a list of schools that offers CSC scholarship, because it's not all Chinese government schools or Chinese schools that offer the CSC scholarship. So the next phase is going to be getting information of when a school makes a scholarship call. That is the only place you can get a genuine information of whether the school is accepting entries for the scholarship scheme. So you have to go to the school website to know if the school is going to what time it's gonna call out for the scholarship. So you have to read through the school requirements and process carefully. Note most of all the requirements are similar. So most of the requirements of Chinese government scholarship are similar. What they ask is almost similar, but in some cases there are schools that will ask you for something, while some schools will not ask you for some requirement. I would like to raise something for you about the process of applying for the scholarship. Some schools do this process online, while some schools do it manually. For my own case, it was done manually. So while some schools you have to apply online, so the process of the application might differ based on the school you want to apply for. That's why you have to check through the school website to know what is the process, how to apply. You have to be careful with how you apply, because sometimes they look for something small to just put you aside. The requirement for my school, you have to go to the Chinese government website It's a portal that you're going to submit all your documents, and it's the Chinese government scholarship application form. So that is the first requirement you have to fill, and you will visit studyinchina.csc.edu.cn. So after filling out all the fields in the portal, but you have to know the unique code for the school, because each school has a serial unique code that when you input, the name of the school is going to appear automatically. So the second issue is about what type of scholarship you are applying for. So there is type A, there's type B, there's type C, and so on. So for this tutorial, you are supposed to apply for type B. The type B allows you to apply directly to the school. Other types like type C, you apply through the embassy. Type A, you apply through government, and so on. So for this type B, you can apply directly through the school. So after filling the form, and the next requirement was your highest academic certificate. It has to be notarized. Like you can go to, for example, if you study abroad, it has to be notarized by the your embassy, by their embassy in your country. So otherwise, if you study in Nigeria for your undergraduate or for your masters, you don't need to notarize, because it has been notarized already before collecting your original certificate. So also you need a notarized transcript, and also your original transcript of your highest certificate, either your undergraduate or your masters. So this next phase is going to, you are supposed to submit a study and research plan. So I'm going to provide that also as a sample of how I wrote my research plan. It has to be on a subject matter or a research problem that is trending right now, so that you can convince them to nominate you for the scholarship. Because there are a lot of students also writing research plan. So for the study plan, it's very, very, very important. You write a very good study plan, and you should be precise with the research problem you want to dive into. So the next is you have to submit 2 recommendation letters from professors in your previous schools. So you have to, for example, if you study in Nigeria, you have to go to the university you studied, and I think you should try and get 2 professors. So maybe if you don't have 2 professors in your department, you can get from an associate professor or an assistant professor or a PhD holder, who is a lecturer, that can write 2 recommendation letters for you. But based on my recommendation, I think it's better you get from professors if you can. So you need also, I will also send a sample letters of my own recommendation letters. And you need a physical examination. You need to fill out a physical examination form, which you should take to a hospital. They're going to test your blood and so on. You're going to do an x-ray. Also, I'm going to send a sample of my own physical examination, so that it can guide you on how you can achieve the form in the hospital when you go to the hospital. So for the 7th requirement for my school, they required I submit applicant. If you're an applicant from a native, from an English native speaking language, you don't need this one. So for my own, because of my audiences are all from Nigeria, and I don't think they need this one. So you don't need to worry about writing a TOEFL or ALTS or HSK and so on. So you don't need this. You don't need to submit this. So the next one is you are going to apply. You are going to pay a sum of $70 for the registration fee. Not all schools charge these fees, but some schools charge these fees, and they call it an application fee, and it's not refundable. So some schools do it free. So if you think you cannot, you don't have the money to apply for these, you can go for schools that don't require you to pay an application fee for applying for the scholarship. So the next one is going to be a copy of your passport. You have to get an international passport. The front page, you have to get a very clear copy of it. You have to make sure it's very, very, very clear. and the picture has no noises and stuff like that. So I think for my school, these were all the requirements which I submitted. A friend of mine helped me. For my case, a friend of mine helped me to submit it in my school. You should try to apply in more than one school, but you have to bear in mind that you cannot apply for more than 3 schools. That is like the maximum number of schools you should apply for. So thank you so much for your attention, and I wish you a successful application, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Bye.